2 years ago, I started a journey, improving my painting skills to one day win a golden demon. Ever since this decision, I painted a little bit more than 500 miniatures, but I learned more with only 7 of them. On the day I'm writing this video, the results from the Squidmars Open just came out. I did the best I could on my Segval entry with a deadline. You can see the entire video here. And all of that got me a bronze in the standard category. When I think of some comments under my video saying "You're a scam, you should go to master and let us win in the standard category." Okay? I got the lowest place of the competition and that's already very good. Honestly, I did think that I would get a higher place. But nowadays, the painting community reached a level so high that I'm only a bronze level. And so, I'm not disappointed. I just mispredicted my level. What is really cool is that I still have a long way to go before getting a golden demon, because many winners of a golden demon had participated in the competition and won bronze, silver or gold in the master category. So I'm at least 4 levels below the level required to win a golden demon. I need to get silver, then gold in standard, then commended level in master, and finally bronze in master. But if I can go further, I will. In fact, that's already a really good improvement for me with only 6 minis. My biggest problem, like most of us, is the time to paint more at a higher level. Due to the production of videos, I only got the time to paint 7 minis since I have the goal to win a golden demon. In this video, I'm going to go through every single minis I painted to learn something particular each time and get to this level. First of all, what was my level before starting this journey? I was able to do some cool minis just like my Mortarion here, or my Horace Lionel Johnson, but I only pushed myself one time. That was for the Miniac Mid-Grinder in 2018. For this competition, I painted Thranduil on Elk. I managed to place in the top 10. That's funny because today, with the same level, I'm not convinced I could get a commended entry in standard category. I learned a lot about dilution on this Thranduil mini, especially to make the Elk's hair. So this was my level when I started the journey. I knew that I had to work on my precision skills with my brush. So for that, I tried to carefully follow a tutorial from Infinite Brush in order to paint like the box art. Everyone who has tried it can tell you that it is the way to improve your brush control. A lot of thin lines inside lines, it's one of the best ways to improve this skill. It was really hard at the beginning, but after 3 or 4 hours of full focus, you start to get the trick and you gain confidence in the process. I'm still really far away from Dave's level, but I learned a lot in the process. As I loved his tutorial and wanted more, I subbed to his Patreon for the future. That was a good investment. I'm still on it right now. Very good content. So I had a new skill only at level 1, but unlocked. It can only get better from now on. The next step was to learn NMM. For this, I chose Elrond, Master of Rivendell. I painted the clothes before, because I thought it would be easier to see the NMM effect with those parts painted. In fact, it doesn't change anything. So I bought my first NMM gold kit from Scale 75 and started building the NMM effect following Andy Wardle's tutorial from Cult of Paint. I directly pledged to their Patreon when I saw Andy's pictures of the NMM gold on Elrond, and I'm still following the Patreon today. It's a really good source of inspiration and learning. By the way, my top 3 patrons to follow to improve your painting skills are Cult of Paint, Richard Gray, and Infinite Brush. And yes, these 3 dudes...
He is not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man.
These 3 men have at least one Slayer sword each. So back to my NMM goal. I tried as hard as I could to follow the tutorial, and after many layers I got this result. Today I like it, but when I painted it, I really thought that it was too white. So I tinted the NMM with Yanden yellow. Then I highlighted it more to get back the shiny effect. And I was happy with it. But my problem was that I didn't manage to get the NMM effect without using Yanden yellow. That was my new goal. I also tried to paint the face following Andy's tutorial, and it's not looking like his, but I liked it. I learned a lot in the process. I had finally done my first ever NMM, and I liked it. After this, I wanted to improve my lighting management on a piece and on the skin. Andy made a great tutorial about the light placement and value in a piece. I highly recommend it. I chose to paint the Goblin King from Middle-earth strategy battle game, following this tutorial as well as others on the skins. I started building the light with pre-shade with the airbrush, and then reinforced the shadow and the light still with the airbrush. Then I tried to improve my dilution and brush control by finishing building the highlight with the brush. It was a very long process and I didn't know if I was doing it right or not, but I was quite happy with the result. Today I still think that it looks cool, but I was too heavy-handed with the white. Yet, with this mini I learned that the brightest point of the mini should be only on one area. Here the entire top of the mini is highlighted all the way to the white, but I still managed to get the effect I wanted. You can clearly see that the Goblin King has a big light source coming from his left, and that's what I wanted to make. It was time to try everything I learned on a single mini. I wanted a piece with a little bit of NMM gold and silver, on which I could place a direct source of light and which looked cool, so I chose Mephisto. I love this mini, and as the red is my favorite color, it was the perfect choice. I struggled with the NMM and still needed to do a wash of Yanden yellow to get it right, but I was quite happy with the face and with the blade. I was not proud of the sword of Elrond, but here I was happy with the result. I'm really happy with the NMM result. I think it looks really cool. I'm also really happy with the face and the red in general. Yet I think that every transitions need to be smoother, and I maybe miss a little bit of creativity or something extra. I mean, it's just Mephisto in the box art color scheme, and that's it. This is still something I need to improve today. More creativity and not just copying something. Just after finishing this mini, I discovered the version of Richard Grey, and so I pledged to his Patreon thinking it could be useful for the future. Spoiler, it is useful. Then it was time for me to get a full NMM model in order to improve my skills. I looked for a mini that I already had, that I wanted to paint, and that I could find example of from a good painter. That's when I saw the Sanguinius video from Sergio Calvo. I had a Sanguinius to paint at home. It was perfect. Sergio Calvo really has his own style. He started building the NMM placement with the airbrush, then made the real effect with the brush, and then went back with the airbrush to smooth the transitions. It's really cool and inspiring, so I tried to follow his video. I struggled a lot with the color choice and I still had a blonde NMM, so I needed to put a coat of Yanden yellow once again. Boo! After the Yanden, I added a dark brown contrast paint to accentuate the shadows, just like Sergio Calvo did on his video. I really liked the idea and the process. It was not as good as him, obviously, but I learned a lot. It's really useful to have a reference for the lighting placement. Every time I checked where he placed the lights, I wondered why here. I think that following tutorials is one thing, but trying to understand what and why they do something is a great way to improve strongly. On this mini, I was also really happy with the silver NMM and the face. I was also happy with the light placement, but I just followed Sergio's video. So it was easy. At this point, I felt ready for more and wanted to start my first real Golden Demon project. It was March 2023 and I started Sigvald, the Magnificent. Unfortunately, two things happened. First, Lion and Johnson came out and I wanted to paint it quickly to make a video tutorial about it. So I put Sigvald away and started working on Lion. And second, we found a house 10 hours away from where we used to live since we were children. Moving this far away is a little bit complicated, one thing after another, and I completely left behind these two minis. I also started this channel at this point and started making challenge videos which take a lot of time to work on. But one day, Dave saved my journey. On his Patreon, Dave from Infernal Brush started to work on Lion and Johnson, the 40k version obviously, in order to present it to the Golden Demon. And that was the spark of motivation I needed. I started to work on it when I had some free time, which is not every day unfortunately. At one point I had only a few things left to paint and had the idea of the video. I painted every day for a week to overcome 25 plus years of laziness. I loved this week of painting, and by the end of the week I finished Lion and Johnson. I was really proud of the sword, the cloak and the shield. That's the three things I worked on the most on this mini. I followed Dave's tutorials from his Patreon for each one of these pieces. I was a little bit triggered by the NMM on the right shoulder, but I airbrushed the transitions thanks to the knowledge I acquired from Sanguinius, and it looked better. I'm pretty happy with the result of Lion and learned a lot in the process too. So we were in October 2024 and during the little free time I had, I started to work on Sigvald again. I had already painted the NMM for the most part, but I was not liking it so much. So I tried Sergio's technique with the airbrush. I ruined almost everything. But that's okay, I can start again on better foundations. And one day, Emil and Lucas announced the Squidma Open. I had 2 months to get a piece ready for the contest. It was perfect. The only problem was that I needed to finish some videos like Usheran and the improvement of his army, the New Year New Army project and the Isengard army from Middle-earth Strategy Battle game. I worked like crazy, did the videos and managed to get 2 full weeks ahead. I spent all the time I could on finishing this Sigvald mini in time. I finished it on the last day I could upload the pictures. Whew. I was really happy because I managed to do a full NMM with my brush without using Yonden Yellow. I did the best transitions I ever did on the clock, and for the first time ever I did a display base. There is an entire video on it if you want to see more. Just here. And everything led us here. I got a bronze in the standard category! As I said in the video about Sigvald, the first goal is to get a gold in the standard category and then move on the master. I didn't get a gold but a bronze instead. And you know what? That's really cool because I love to try new things and try to improve my painting skills a lot. If with only 6 minis I would have been master level, it would have been too easy and I could have lost interest in the thing. I'm not sure why, but when I don't struggle, I stop having interest in the thing I do. So for that, I'm really happy. I have so much time of learning and practicing ahead of me. Next step is to enter more contests. I want to go to a contest physically, to see the difference from an online one, and maybe get feedbacks. The dream in the end is to win a Golden Demon, and if it could be with a Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game mini, it will mean a lot for me. Wondering why? I explained my love for this game in this video. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, bye!